So you guys, you who already attended the lab setup, so Jayesh and then uh, Ashok, Yashpal, if you want to leave the session, you can leave. If you know, today we are going to see how to install EvenG for your lab hands-on purpose. Okay, EvenG tool, how to install that EvenG tool, and what are the console types we have that we are going to discuss. So if you want, you can leave and. So today and tomorrow it's going to be only lab sessions only, and you can directly join if you're okay with that. You can directly join on coming Friday. Sorry, Thursday session. Thursday we are going to Thursday also you guys already attended. That is a firewall comparison, right? So what are the firewall products we have, and what is the difference between the traditional firewall and then next generation firewall? What is the importance of next generation firewall? That thing we are going to discuss on Thursday also. So that session also you guys are already completed. So if you want, you can join from Thursday or else you can join from Friday, guys, directly on Friday. Okay. So so let's start our today's session. So as discussed today, we are going to see how to install that EvenG emulator tool for your lab hands-on purpose. So this tool it's similar to your GNS3. I hope everyone are aware about the GNS3 and Packet Tracer. Packet Tracer is a Cisco proprietary software which can simulate your Cisco devices and which can be work with a limited features, right? And EvenG, it's an emulator. You can able to work with in almost all the networking products, all the vendor products like Cisco, Palo Alto, Fortinet, Checkpoint, right? And then Barracuda. It's supporting the wide vendor products, wide area in that scenario. Okay, so and it is very user friendly. Only installation process sometimes comparatively GNS3, even G, it's little bit difficult to understand the installation process. But once if your installation is completed, the user friendly tool to use it. Okay, it's a very user friendly and it's more capable and it's more user friendly for huge topologies. If you want to work with a complex topology, if you want to uh, emulate your complex network, right? So then you can use this tool. Okay, this is the tools. It's not only for using for hands-on purpose. In a production network also they are using before implement any features or before deploy the production network. They will use this emulator to emulate your proper topology. Okay, and it's used for testing purpose, guys. In a production network it's used for testing purpose. Whatever the feature you are going to implement, right? So what in a real time scenario they will just emulate first, then they will test whatever the loophole is there or what is the complexity in that deploying that new features. Everything they will test by the help of this product, one of the best product. This tool is one of the best tool. Okay, and if you learn this tool it will helpful to you not only for in your hands on. Okay, so the tool name is called Eve NG Next Generation Emulator. Okay, it's an emulator. There is a difference between the simulator and emulator. Packet Tracer is a simulator. EVNG it's an emulator. Simulator, you can simulate your whatever your network topology, network devices, but it's not going to. You are not able to expect 100% of output on that, and it's not going to be in a real device as well. You're not working whatever the your. Let's say I want to work with a Cisco router, or if I want to work with Palo Alto firewall, and if you are using any simulator tools, it may support all the features or may not. Okay, but if you're using a emulator, it's really you're working with a real device. It will give you the real device. Exactly, you're working with a real device. That feel you can able to get, and it will support all the features which is given by the vendor product, which is support by that particular vendor product. Okay, so that is the beauty of working with the emulator, guys. So for us, hands-on purpose, this is the tool. It's more useful and more helpful to you, and it's uh, GNS3 also. It's an emulator only, but comparatively GNS3 EVNG will suitable for huge complex networks. Okay, so better if you're familiar this tool, it will be in a real-time production network also, it will be helpful to you guys. Okay, so this EVNG, we'll see this EVNG you can install in four different ways. Okay, so the installation types case, so one is you can install in your laptop or desktop, so that okay, that itself you can either install in your laptop or desktop for your own hands-on purpose. Okay, and or else I have you can install your EVNG in your virtual server. Already I have one virtualization servers like EXSI operating system with the running with the VMware operating system or NSX operating system running device. I have one server machine, and the top of my server machine I have running with my operating system, EXSA operating system. Okay, in that case, above EXSA operating system, you can install events. So that is called virtualization. We are using virtualization to run your EVNG operating system. Okay, above the virtualization operating system, we are running EVNG. Okay, so that is called comes under the virtual server installation. I can install my EVNG on the above EXSA operating system. Okay, so which is supporting the virtualization, which is enabling the virtualization, right? So that operating system I have, dedicated operating system I have, and above that I just want to use my event. So in that installation is called virtual server installation, or you can just mention it like EXSI, above EXSI, I want to install event. Okay, that option we have, that is called virtual server installation. And you can also install directly bare metal physical server installation. Third option is physical server installation. It's nothing bare metal installation. So bare metal is nothing. I have one hardware, a rack server, let's say Dell 600 something, 700 series. Okay, 600 or 700 something. Okay, uh, I have a dedicated hardware. So on in this hardware, I don't want to use, I mean, like virtual server or laptop. Laptop is already running with one base operating system. Above that operating system, we are going to install EVNG. There is an already one base operating system. Virtual server, already one virtualization supporting operating system. It's running on that EXSI. And above that, we are going to install the EVNG. Okay. So if you look at these two type of installation, to install your EVNG, you need one base operating system, and above of that only you are going to install EVNG tool, right? But this scenario, I I have physical equipment. Okay, so I mean well hardware resource I have. I don't want to install any third party operating system to install my EVNG. I want to directly install my EVNG. I just want to directly install on my server, just like how we are installing Windows operating system on your laptop or Ubuntu operating system, installing your OS, right, on your hardware. Similarly, this you can directly install EVNG operating system without any third party operating system help. Okay, you no need to install any other Windows operating system or Linux operating system or EXSA operating system to install EVNG. You can directly install EVNG as your dedicated operating system, dedicated server. Okay, so that is called bare metal installation. Okay, so that is also possible. And the last option, you can install EVNG in your cloud platform. So officially, Google Cloud GCP platform is supporting, and you can also install in Azure as well. Okay. Okay, so for these four option we have when you want to install image. Okay, so which one is suitable for us? So you have a minimum for this, you need minimal hardware. Okay, so let's say the minimum recommendation is minimal recommended hardware resources, i5 processor. Okay, so I'll show you that. Okay. So we are going to discuss this option. Okay, today we are going to discuss this option, and virtual server and physical server and all. You need a huge hardware. In case if you have a EXSA operating system above that, you want to install uh, VMware. Oh, sorry, you want to install EVNG. You can follow the same process. Only two, one or two steps only will be vary. I will share the document for that to install on your uh, virtual server. Okay, on EXSA I have already, I have an EXSA operating system. Above that, I just want to install EVNG. Then I'll share you that for the document. In physical server, direct bare metal installation and all, you need a huge hardware resources if you have. And for that also, I'll share the document. Okay, and then this option cloud platform, I'll share the recorded video guys. Okay, so this you this is for free of cost for next 90 days. Okay, you can use it, and you can so this hard, even though in my hardware I don't have any virtual server, I don't have hardware prop I mean required hardware to deploy in a physical server and deploy in a virtual server, and also I don't have enough hardware resources to install on my laptop. In that case only, you can go to the Google Cloud platform Google Cloud platform installation, guys. Okay, so this is our last option when you don't have enough hardware. So on these three options. Okay, and almost we all are having at least this option. If you don't have that much hardware also in your laptop or desktop, let's say I'm having older I'm having i3 processor or equivalent AMD processor I have, and then I have only 3 GB RAM or 4 GB RAM. Okay, and less hard disk storage. So in that case, still I want to create my lab setup for myself. Okay, in that case, then you can go with a Google Cloud platform. So there you can able to get a core 8 core CPU, and then you can go with a 16 GB to 32 GB RAM. But my advice is you can just take it 16 GB. Don't go for higher hardware uh, s- hardware specifications until unless you really need, because it's 16 GB is enough for us or for our hands-on purpose. Okay, so 8 core CPU, 16 GB RAM, and 200 GB storage you can able to get on Google Cloud, and you can use it for next 90 days as a free of cost. So everything installation is going to happen in your in even in Google Cloud GCP. Okay, and from there you will get one public IP to access your EVNG server, and in your laptop you can able to access. All you need is you need a internet with this device. Okay, and when you switch on your virtual machine in Google Cloud, it will assign one public IP address, and by calling the public IP from your laptop or desktop, okay, you can able to access your event server. So whatever you can access the console in your machine itself, local machine itself, by the help of calling the public IP. Okay, But whatever you are uploading uploading the image files, whatever the workload you are giving it, right? So that will be bearable on GCP, not in your machine. It's not going to save anything. It's not, nothing is going to save in your local machine. Nothing you're not is you're going to install in your local machine. Only thing is you need to install Windows client pack. If it is base machine, if your base machine is Windows operating system, if your base machine is Linux operating system, then Linux client pack. Okay, so these softwares you need to install. This is also not mandatory, but if you are installing it, you can able to get the, you can able to access the devices with a proper native console. I'll tell you what is native console. Okay, after install the event. Okay, so it's also not mandatory one. If you want to, it's optional thing. All you need is, if you are having a Windows based operating system, it should be minimum Windows 8. Officially, Windows 7 is not supported. Okay. So if you have a Windows 8 operating system, you can directly install your EVNG in a Google Cloud and you can able to access it. Okay. So for that, I'll share the recorded video for your reference. And in case if you have any doubts, let me know. I'll assist you. I'll directly take a remote access and I'll help you to install your EVNG on GCP, guys. Okay. So this is a second option, even though if you don't have any enough hardware in your laptop. Okay, in that case, you can go with this. Okay, let's go with the first installation type. So these are all the modes we have to install your EVNG operating system, EVNG tools in your for your hands-on, guys. Okay, so this laptop and desktop installation, we are going to do that. So before starting the installation on your EVNG installation on your laptop or desktop, I just want to discuss with the basic requirements. Okay, software and hardware requirements. So this is a minimum hardware requirement, and this is the recommended from the EVNG side. EVNG, okay, and this is your software requirements. Minimum you should have a i5 processor with the AMD. I mean, sorry, i5 processor if it is in a Intel. If you have a AMD processor equal that I core minimum your 5 cores you need in your AMD processor. Okay, and then minimum hardware requirement for your RAM for your desk laptop or desktop. You should have at least 6 GB, 4 GB. You can able to run in still. You if you have a 4 GB RAM also, you can able to install that even G. But our concern is inside that EVNG, we are installing router, we are installing firewalls, we are installing the switches, right? So these devices also need to run. Your Palo Alto and all, it will, one device itself, it will take 4 GB RAM. If you're installing one Palo Alto firewall and you want to work with other devices, you want to implement your network security features by using Palo Alto firewall, right? So here, not only Palo Alto is not only the only device you are going to work, you are going to add one Windows machine as a LAN. You're going to add some web servers and mail servers, right? So or any RDP or any other devices, Windows machine or a router, switch, right? And so you're going to work with minimum 4 to 6 devices you're going to work with to implement your network security features by the help of Palo Alto firewall, right? So your one Palo Alto firewall itself, it will take 4 GB RAM. Okay, and if you, let's say if you're having one Windows machine, two local Windows machines, so each two Windows machines, 1 GB RAM or 512 MB RAM. It's, if it is a Windows 10, you need minimum 1 GB RAM to run that minimum, right? So let's go with a very low configuration itself. So 512 MB RAM we need. So for these two machines, we need 1 GB RAM for LAN machines. And then your Palo Alto firewall, to manage your Palo Alto firewall, your management, you need a management PC that also need 512 MB RAM minimum. So 1.5 MB. And then your Cisco routers and switches and all, you're going to give a 512 MB RAM. Okay. So one router, two switch we are going to use. So that is 1 GB. Okay. So almost 4 to 5 GB. So if you want to work without any delay, I mean without any slow speed issues, right? So you need minimum recommended is 6 GB RAM. But still, if you have a 4 GB RAM also, it's fine. You can able to install it. But the only thing is simultaneously you cannot run multiple devices. And if you try to run that multiple devices also, you'll yes, it will work again, but create it will make you these your network slow down. Okay, so you will face latency, guys. Okay, so better if you have 6 GB RAM, then it's fine. Most nowadays everyone having at least 8 GB RAM. Okay, and then hard disk space minimum 40 GB is required. Space is required to install EVNG, but my concern is we are not only just installing that EVNG. That is not our aim. We are going to work with other devices. So let's say if you are installing on Windows machine, right? So Windows 7 or Windows 10, at least 25 GB storage you need to install that operating system to run that properly. We are not going to store anything inside that operating that machine, but still that operating system itself, it will take 25 GB storage to install properly in that one single Windows machine. If you have in your topology, if you have a three Windows machine, 75 GB storage is minimum recommended. And after that, your Palo Alto you should have at least 20 GB. Recommendation is 40 GB space must. Okay. So better if you have you need to make it your storage space 100 GB. But still you can install your EVNG within 40 GB storage itself. Okay. But better you can go with 100 or 200 GB space in your hard disk. Okay. If you need to make sure you have enough space, at least 100 GB. Okay. And then after that, for after installing EVNG, we are going to add other devices inside the EVNG. That devices we are going to access the internet to achieve our security features, right? By the help of Palo Alto, right? So we are going to access the internet and we are going to deny some traffic. We are going to allow some traffic for real internet access, right? Application control, URL filter, file blocking, lot of things we need to do. So for that, sometimes we need to access the internet, right? So to access the internet on your EVNG installed devices, you need one network adapter card, right? So in your laptop, it's going to use for a real internet access. It's going to use your base adapter only, network NIC cards only. Okay, that NIC cards might be uh, wired or wireless. Okay, at least you need one NIC card. Okay, and then your device should be supporting the virtualization. Okay, you need to make sure your motherboard and your processor it's enabled with Intel. If it is an Intel processor, it whether it is supporting the VTX feature or EPT, which is supporting the enhancing the virtualization. Okay, so if this feature is enabled, then your virtualization is supported in your machine. Okay, if it is an AMD processor, and make sure AMD-B or RVA. Okay, RVA or V-V, that feature should be supported by your processor and motherboard. Okay, even though your processor support that feature also, maybe it may be disabled in your motherboard. So you have to check with your BIOS, virtualization is enabled or not. Okay, even though if your virtualization is enabled in your motherboard also, if your processor is not supporting this feature, then virtualization it's not you are not able to do nested virtualization, it's not possible. Okay, so I'll show you what will happen if you are not enable that feature and all. Okay, so I'll show you that tomorrow. We are going to upload the image files, and there I'll show you what are the error you will get, the possibility you will get, and what are the mistake you may do. everything I tell you guys. Okay, and this is totally minimum hardware requirements for better performance. If you want to work with a huge topologies, okay, I want to work with multiple Palo Alto firewalls. For high availability we need minimum 2 Palo Alto firewall. Okay, and then a huge topology, I just want to configure my entire LAN network here, some LAN network, and this is my one more segment. And for DMZ, I'm going to have servers, multiple servers. Okay, management also, I'm going to have multiple machines. Sometimes log servers like that. Okay, and Panorama, we are going to work with Panorama as well. Panorama and all, it will Panorama need 6 GB RAM for better performance. Okay. Yes, yes. Then no worries. We are going to have it. I'll tell you. As of now, we are not going to use a Panorama. We'll add for that. We are going to have other topology. Panorama, it's a centralized management device, Jace. Centralized management device for your Palo Alto devices, just like a 40 manager. Okay, so this is your recommended hardware, guys. Okay, so i7 processor with 8 core processor. 8 core means at least it should support the 16 threads. It will better option. Okay, if you have that, and 8 GB RAM, it's a recommended. More than that, if you have 16 GB or 32 GB under, it's fine. And 200 GB or more space is also fine. So 200 GB is recommended space. Okay, and then what you need, one network adapter, and then your processor and motherboard should support the virtualization. Okay, these are all the hardware requirements, and then software requirements. And you need to install VMware Workstation on your laptop based on your operating system version, if 32-bit or 62-bit. So you have to select, if 64-bit, if it is a 64-bit, it's fine. Okay, so you have to select that that application, and it should be minimum 15.x. Latest version is 17.x version, VMware Workstation. You can use VMware Workstation Pro, okay, Workstation Pro, or else you can install VMware Player. It's not necessary both, you need to install it. Any one of that, VMware Workstation or VMware Player, both are VMware application only. Both are which is enhancing the virtualization applications. Okay, so either one, VMware Workstation Pro or VMware Player Pro. Okay, so 15, the version should be at least 15.x and or later version, it's fine. And you need one Ubuntu operating system, OVF. Okay, so pre-installed virtual machine. So inside that, actually EVNG, it's Linux based tool. I mean, the mother operating system of EVNG is Ubuntu only, and it will support Ubuntu 16. Version to or later. So latest one is 20. Okay. So whichever you want, you can use that image files. I'll share that image files, no worries. Okay. So and then you can download the VMware Workstation or VMware Player from the internet. Okay. So and finally, I forget to mention one more software. WinSCP tool or FileZilla to upload the image files. Okay, you need to install. And finally, optional thing is Windows Client Pack. I forget to mention these two options. Okay, these two softwares you need to These are all the freewares you can download in internet. I'll share this Windows client back, okay, and WinSCP also. uh, all the softwares I'll share from my end, and or else if you want to download from the internet, you can download. However, even though if I'm going to share, you're going to download it, right? So you can directly you can download from the internet as well for WinSCP, FileZilla, and VMware Workstation application or VMware Player applications. Okay, Windows Client Pack I'll give you. Okay, so these are all the tools we need, softwares we need for this installation, guys. Okay, so and before start the installation process, how we are going to install that, I just drawn on some I mean I'll show some diagrams. Okay, so here you can able to understand how, if I'm almost everyone have this idea how to install your VMware workstation in your local machine, and after that how to install EVNG or any other operating system virtualization by the help of virtualization features. You may almost everyone may did that previously also, okay, but still I just want to give you some clear idea it's going to be how our event is going to be work. Okay, so that for that I just want to show this diagram. Okay, so first, this is going to be our hardware, laptop or desktop. Let's say this is my desktop right now, which is having i i7 8 core processor with 16 threads. This is my machine resource, guys. And second, I have a 32 GB RAM, and then 2 DB storage. Okay, in that, as of now, I'm having in one drive only. Almost I have 400 GB free space, and 200 to 400 GB space in each drive. So I'll choose any one of whatever the drive I have the enough space, that drive I'm going to choose it. So this is my hardware resources, and it's supporting the VTX feature. Okay, so Intel VTX feature it support, and I have one network wireless adapter card. Okay, Ethernet, I have one Ethernet. So all requirements I met, right? So the requirement hardware requirements I met already. So this is my hardware specification. On this, I'm running with Windows 10 operating system. Okay, desktop running with Windows 10 operating system. So now you guys also going to have the same things. So you are running with Windows 10, Windows 8, or Windows 11, right? So any operating system, or that may be Ubuntu operating system, and all your, you may have a i5 processor or i7 processor, anything, right? So that you're also going to meet your requirements. Okay, so everything is fine. This is the first stage. That is your hardware. Above this, above this hardware, we need to install one application to enhance or to support your virtualization. Okay, so that application is called VMware Workstation, or it might be Player. In my machine, I have already installed VMware Workstation. Okay, so 16.x version I'm using. You guys, you can install latest version 17.x as well, or 16.x as well. My preference is 16.x, so I have license for that tool. So if you want, I can share the licenses as well. So better you can download VMware Workstation 16 Pro, guys. Okay, or VMware Player 16. Okay, any one of that. Clear. So now already I have installed it. So that VMware Workstation. So let me show you that VMware Workstation Pro. You can see already I'm running multiple labs. In that, if you go to see here, help board VMware workstation, you can see that 16.2.3 version I'm using. Okay. So this application I already installed. For you guys, it will be, you need to download and after that you need to install it. Okay. After install, when you are trying to open this application, it will be look like this. Nothing will be shown. The empty space will be there, and because you are not installed any lab, any you're not installing any operating system or any EVNG tool or anything. Okay, so it will be look like this only, very empty space you are going to have. Okay, even though okay, so as of now, the second option also second requirement also we have completed. So we installed VMware Workstation as well. And third, inside that VMware Workstation, right? Sorry, not I need to mention as per the diagram. It's in a desktop hardware with a requirement. These are the hardware specifications I have. And second, running the base operating system, Windows 10, running with base operating system Windows 10. This is my base operating system, guys. This is my hardware, and this is on the top of my hardware. I am installing one base operating system, that is Windows 10, and on the top of Windows 10, I have installed the VMware Workstation. This is your VMware Workstation, whatever we just discussed, right? That VMware Workstation 16 Pro. Okay, now inside that VMware workstation only, we are going to install the EVNG operating system. EVNG, okay, EVNG tool we are going to install. So actually that is not EVNG operating system. That is a Ubuntu operating system with pre-installed EVNG package, EVNG 2. Okay, EVNG 2. So Ubuntu, we are installing Ubuntu operating system that is in a VM, virtual machine OVF file we are going to use, that is pre-installed operating system. Okay, and with EVNG package, EVNG tool also installed with that. That EVNG tool will support only Ubuntu by the help of Ubuntu operating system. Other operating system is the Ubuntu. Okay, so that operating system we are going to install with the EVNG packages. Okay, and that is this one. After that, after install the EVNG, we need to do hands-ons, right? So we need to draw the topology. We need to work with the router, switch, firewall. Since we are starting this batch with the Palo Alto, we are going to do a lot of hands-on things with the Palo Alto firewall. Okay, so that and all you need to upload after install the event only. The final stage, you need to upload the router image, router operating system file, and switch operating system file, firewall operating system files, the image files of the router and switches. You need to upload it. Okay, so this is the second process. Okay, your lab installation is going to be two part. First part is installing evng up to this, up to that orange color box. Okay, installing that event. Clear, guys? And uploading the image files of other products, like where whatever our hands on, whatever that product we are going to learn, that products we are going to do upload inside the event to for hands on purpose. So that is second part which we are going to do it on tomorrow. Okay, clear? So these are all the process we need to do when you're going to, these are the steps we have to follow when you're installing the EVNG lab. Okay. So actual thing is we need to install Ubuntu operating system with the pre-installed EVNG packages. Okay. Clear, guys, up to now, how we are going to install your EVNG. Okay. So the after second part, after upload the image files, so the real internet Windows operating system with one Ethernet card I have, right? So my Windows operating system is getting internet from this Ethernet card, right? And my VMware workstation also, it's going to access the internet from this Ethernet card. And EVNG also, it's going to access the internet from this Ethernet card. And EVNG installed devices, router, firewall, Windows machine, Linux machine, anything, that is also going to get the internet connectivity with a real internet. Yeah, with a base Ethernet adapter card. Okay, so that until I'll tell you how we can able to communicate with the internet, everything. So this is the process we are going to do for your lab installation. Up to now, any doubts in this, guys? What we are going to do? So today we are going to do up to Ubuntu EVNG installation, not uploading the image files, other vendor products. Okay. Any doubts or you need any further clarification? What we are going to do now? Okay, fine. Okay, so let's fine. We'll go with the installation process, guys. Okay. So as I said, we have desktop with the hardware, record hardware, and in under above hardware, we are installing one base operating system. So Windows 10. It's nothing big difference in between the EVNG and PNet. PNet has some more additional features. You can use some Docker concepts, Docker files and all. Okay, so it's an advanced thing, but for us, this is enough. It's more than enough to do our hands. Or no, I'm not. I'm also not that much familiar with that PNet tool. I'm started to explore it. Okay, and the thing is, you can use you to by the help of PNet, you can reduce the hardware resources. You can accelerate the hardware functionalities, and you can reduce the hardware resource utilization. And but still, one of the more added advantages, you can use some Dockers, so Docker containers kind of things. Okay, so but for you guys, it's better. EVNG is the better, even though that is Peanuts. It's going to use less hardware resources, but for well hands-on, you can go with the my suggestion. You can go with the EVNG. That is good for everyone. Okay. And after familiar with this tool, then you can go if you want to explore what is there. Then you can go with that tool. Okay. So and as of now, we have a desktop and Windows operating system is installed. And in my scenario, I have already installed VMware Workstation. Okay, but you guys, you need to download and you need to that app that when VMware Workstation application. Okay, so everyone knows how to download the application and install that application. Once if you are installed that VMware Workstation, it will be look like this. Okay, so I'm going to start from the third option. Okay, I'm going to start from the as already I have installed with the VMware workstation. So I'm going to start to install Ubuntu. I mean, EVNG pre-installed operating system. I'm going to install it. Okay. So I'm going to start from this last step. For you guys, you need to download VMware workstation and install that VMware workstation. And once if you are downloaded and install that, it will be look like a plain empty space you will have. Okay. So and now to install that EVNG operating system, we are using it. There are two type of installation, guys. Okay, so in a VMware workstation, you can, I mean, when you can install laptop or desktop. Inside the laptop or desktop, you can install EVNG in a two different. For that, we need one EVNG operating system, which is nothing Ubuntu image files. We need a operating system, right? So that operating system file have two, we have a two different kind of files. One is ISO file, another one is OVF file. Okay. ISO file will, for installing the EVNG, you need a internet connectivity. First, first option, you need internet connectivity on your base laptop to your VMware workstation and app to VMware workstation. Okay, you need an internet connectivity inside that VMware workstation. Whatever the virtual machines you are going to create to install that EVNG, that machines need to get the internet first option. Okay, first you need to have a internet connectivity based on your internet speed, internet reachability. You're going to download that EVNG packages. When you're using an ISO file, you're one first you are installing the Ubuntu only, Ubuntu operating system, and from internet you are downloading the EVNG setup package from the Ubuntu operating system. Okay, so it's obviously you need internet connectivity, and based on the connectivity quality, you are going to have, I mean, the installation process will take time. Okay, so it will OVF file is easily, you can install OVF file installation is an easy setup. It's little bit complex, or it will time taking process. Okay, so my concern, you can I'm going to show you with the OVF file installation. Okay, so you can go with this OVF file installation. Okay guys, so if you want to know how to install the EVNG packages with ISO file types, I'll share the recorded video for that. You can go through that. Most of this, it's just like installing Ubuntu operating system. First, it will install the Ubuntu operating system. So how we are installing the Ubuntu operating system in your basic laptop or desktop, the same process. It will ask you to provide the choose the languages and then other keyboard types, and it will ask you to set up your network adapter card informations. All those stuffs, basic steps, it will it will ask you to do. Then it will start to install your Ubuntu operating system, and after final stage only it will, when you have internet connectivity, then it will download EVNG packages from the internet, and it will start to install. So you need at least 1 to 1.5 hours, even though if you have a good internet connectivity also, to complete this process, you need minimum 1 hour to 1.5 hours. Okay, so better you can go with the OVF file types. So since it's a pre-installed EVNG package, pre-installed Ubuntu operating system, everything is pre-installed. You can just open that OVF file and you can just start it to uh, complete your basic setup on your EVNG. You no need to install that anything. It's pre-installed. You can just complete your basic setups. That's it. Okay. So best you can go with, if you want to set up this EVNG with the simpler options, then easy options, you can go with the OVF file. Okay. So today I'm going to show you how to use that, how to install EVNG by the help of OVF files. Okay, pre-installed virtual machines. Okay, so you need to select that OVF file which I'm going to share you. You need to download from the internet. I'm going to share you, right? So you can download from my drive, and to install EVNG operating system, you need to open that OVF file. This is the actual file. Okay, Eve Community Edition Virtual VM 1 and 2. It's going to have around 1.1 GB. Okay, so you after download, you need to download. You can see that three file types, three different OVF file. Okay, and this is your storage. Okay, your pre-installed operating system with the storage. Okay, virtual disk, the hard disk with the installed operating system. Okay, so these three files you should not download just only one file or OVF or MF file, or only you can download with only directly I'm going to download the entire hard disk. Not like that. You need to you need to download all these three files, and you can call this VM by the help of this OVF file. Okay, so you need to make sure all these three files you have downloaded. Okay, and now after download, to start your installation process, you need to choose this OVF file. Okay, open virtualization file, OVF file type is OVF file. Okay. You can see that .ovf. Okay, OVF file. And now what you have to do, before open this file, you need to make sure you are installing VMware workstation, right? Everything you have to complete. Once if everything is complete, then choose this OVF file, right click your your mouse and just use open with either VMware, if you're whichever the tool, VMware player you have used, or VMware workstation you have installed, whichever the VMware software you have installed it, that application you can choose it. Okay, I'm going to open with VMware workstation. Just use VMware workstation, and it's asking you to provide the name for this virtual machine. Okay, so already so I have given some name. So okay, fine. So I'll give you PCNSC. This is for your EVNG virtual machine's name. Okay, so I'm going to give the name. You can give whatever you want. Okay, so I'm going to give EVNG lab for Palo Alto PA. So that is the name I'm given. EVNG Eve hyphen ng hyphen PA is it's my virtual machine name, and where you want to install this virtual machine. So you need to give a proper location where you have enough space. So you go to C drive. So in my see in C drive I have almost 65 GB only storage, free storage only I have it in my hard disk. So I'm planning to go with, I have a 200 GB space in D drive, and then 200 GB almost 200 GB space in F drive, and 200 GB space in G drive. So I'm going to I'm going to install my VM on my D drive. Okay, so let's go with, I want to set up the path where I'm going to store my virtual machine in the name of evng dot hyphen pa. Okay, so whatever you are going to do lab in your evng, right? All the files will be stored as a virtual storage, virtual disk in this particular location where which path you are giving it, right? So based on that. So in this PC, I just want to go with D drive, D drive. Okay, I just want to go with a E drive. E drive virtual machines is there. So under virtual machines, the folder, I just want to install it. Okay, that's it. So this virtual machine, whatever I'm going to do, my hands on everything will be stored in this particular location. My entire VM state will be stored in this particular location. E drive virtual machine, under virtual machine folder, it will be stored in the name of evng p Palo Alto. Okay, and start to import. Okay, import. We are importing that virtual machine. Virtual machine is nothing, it's a pre-installed state. The operating system is pre-installed operating system. So I know for that I can call my OVF file. It's fine. So it will detect where my installed operating system. So as per the drive, as per the, sorry. So this is here VM-0, right? So here only my Ubuntu operating system with the pre-installed EVNG is stored in this disk. Okay, this disk will be import to your local machine now. So hereafter it will be, whenever my virtual machine I'm going to start, it will be start from what based on this virtual disk. That virtual disk is importing to your local storage, that particular location where you have mentioned, right? So now go to your So it's D drive, I think so. D or E. E drive, virtual machines. You can see that it started to install something, importing even PA, the files. This is this is your virtual machine name. So everything is imported. Okay. So now whenever you're running or open that virtual machine, it will be started to this virtual disk. Okay, you can see that. Okay, so it will be started to run based on this virtual disk. Whatever, it's a pre-installed state. Okay, so the virtual machine will be used to this hard disk to boot your that particular operating system. Now you can see our evng-va is installed. Okay, and everything is completed, and you can see that we are not allocated any hardware resources like 8 GB RAM, 4 core processor, 50 GB storage, and network adapter mode is bridged, right? So nothing, we are not giving it, right? From our end, we just import the virtual machine. We are not giving it anything. But when you are going with a ISO file, you have to allocate your hardware resources by yourself, and you need to tell where is your operating system, and you need to complete your operating system installation process, right? Everything you need to do it your own. But when you are going with the OVF file, almost 80 to 90% of installation is pre-installed, it's completed. Okay, so we are going to do some basic steps only. So better you can go with this installation. You can reduce your time utilization, okay, and complexity of installation process. Okay, and now before open this virtual machine, you can see that it has 8 GB RAM, 4 core processor, and then 50 GB storage only. I just want to I want to increase my hard disk space. So we are going to work with Palo Alto devices and other Panorama and other devices like Cisco router, switches, Windows machine, right? Windows Server machine, Active Directory purpose. So it's not enough. The storage is not enough to run all these devices. So I just want to increase my storage. And in my scenario, I have 8 GB RAM is enough, but still I have more RAM in my hardware. So I just want to increase my RAM as well. So in future, if you want to customize your hardware resources, right? So you can go to edit virtual machine settings, and here you can edit whatever you want. You can increase or decrease the hardware allocations. So 8 GB RAM to 16 GB RAM, I want to increase for this virtual machine. And then processor, I have 8 core processor with 16 threads. Right now it's allocated only 4 core each thread, one threads for each. Okay, so 4 processor, one thread is given. So totally 4 only it's allocated. But in my machine totally I have 16 threads. So I just want to increase the processor count as well, so that I can able to work with the huge topologies in a sufficient way. Okay, so I have totally 8 processor. Each processor have two threads, so totally 16. So you should not allocate your entire hardware, your entire processor resources, guys. Okay, because your processor needs to run your base operating system. Okay, let me show that one. The same hardware I'm running with the base operating system. Windows also running. It's need minimum two core processors, okay, to run base operating system. And after that, I'm going to install. I'm running a VMware workstation. Inside that VMware workstation, I'm installing EVNG. Inside that EVNG, I'm having router, switch, firewall, and all. So that devices also need to run. So all these stuffs will be taken from your base hardware only. Okay, and to run these devices efficiently, your Windows operating system also need run properly. Then only if your operating system is run properly, then it can able to smoothly run your VMware workstation. And if your VMware workstation is running smoothly, then it can work with the EVNG operating system properly. If your EVNG is operating system work properly, then you can work with the other devices which is you are installing inside. So better you should not allocate all the processor for your virtual machine. So 50 percentage of, at least 50 percentage of processor, or you should give to your base operating system, so that you can able to work with efficient way. Okay, allocate your 50 percentage of processing unit to your base operating system wise. So in my scenario, totally I have 16 threads. So I just want to give 4 processor or 8 processor. In each processor, I want to provide one virtual thread, one thread to my E1G operating system. Or else, first 4 cores I'm going to allocate to my EVNG operating system. 8 processor given. I have given 8 cores. I have given to this machine. Okay, this is enough. And then make sure this Intel virtualization VTX feature or AMD-V process is enabled. When you're using ISO file installation, you need to manually do it. But OVF installation, it's pre-installed virtual machine. It's previously it is enabled that feature. If even though if it is pre-installed, pre-enabled, pre-configured this feature, you need to make sure this feature is enabled or disabled. You need to make sure this feature is enabled. Okay, so if it is an ISO file, it's not enabled. You need to manually enable it. Okay, so make sure whether it's an OVF file installation or ISO file installation, you need to make sure this feature is enabled. Okay, now everything is enabled, fine. And then I want to increase my hard disk space. So go to expand from 100 GB, 50 GB to 150 GB. I just want to allocate and expand. Okay, so I have expanded my hard disk space as well. Okay, that's it. And network adapter card, you can see we have option network connection, bridged mode, NAT mode, host only, custom, right? So if you want to access the internet for EVNG installed devices inside the, if you want to access the internet from EVNG and other devices, router, switch, Windows machine on your topology, the local machine, you want to access the internet, then you need to make sure your network adapter type is either bridged mode or NAT mode. My concern, you can use bridged mode. So if you're using a bridged mode, your virtual machine will be participate in your local LAN network. It will get a IP and it can able to communicate with your local LAN resources. Okay, so when you have a bridge mode is the best way to access the real internet, and also your local, it can able to communicate with the local LAN resources. So in case in your LAN you have other laptop or desktop and you want to use that devices to do your lab, okay, right? So in that case you can share your lab in that local resources as well. Okay, and you can get a internet connectivity without having any interruption. So it will directly get your local LAN gateway, act like a ISP gateway for your virtual machine. Okay, so better you can use the bridged mode and make sure replicate your physical network connection state, so that without any interruption you can able to get the, without any duplication and any interruption, you can able to get the internet access as well, and you can able to communicate with your LAN resources. Okay, local LAN resources, Wi-Fi network or your mobile network, you can able to communicate with the LAN. Okay, make sure this option, or if you you can go with the NATed mode, but it will be, you're not going to communicate with your LAN network. Okay, it will be add you as a different network under the different network, NATed mode, NATed network. Okay, so better you can go with the bridge mode as well. And then rest of the thing, it's that's it. We no need to mention anything. So RAM is memory is increased, and then processor is increased, hard disk space is increased, network adapter type is chosen. That's it. So these are all the things we need to run on operating system, right? All the hardware resources we have given. That's it. Just click OK, and now just start your virtual machine. Here we are not installing any operating system. We just used virtual machine, pre-installed operating system machine directly. Now you can see almost your EVNG installation is complete. You are going to do some basic steps. That's it. And now, if since we chosen as a bridged mode in your network LAN network, if you have any DHCP server, it will get the IP address from that DHCP server. 90.160.0.7. Okay, so let's see what is my LAN network. Wireless LAN 190.160.0.6 is my machine, local machine have, and 10.1 is my gateway, and /24 network. And here you can see I got IP address from that same range. Okay, and since in local LAN I have one DHCP server, which is my wireless router, and so I got IP address from my DHCP server. Okay, so now I can I can call my EVNG CLI console and GUI console. So GUI console can be accessible through your browser by the help of HTTP protocol. You cannot use HTTPS. It will not support by for these community edition versions. Okay, so you have, if you want to call your if you want to access your workspace, right? So where you are going to do draw your topology, right? Where you're going to do some hands-on, right? So that works protocol, and by calling this IP you can able to access the GUI console of the EVNG. Okay, so as of now I'm not completing any basic steps, right? So but still, since I got the IP address, I want to show you how it will look like when you're calling your uh, workspace by the help of your browser. You need a browser, that's it. Okay, and 192.168.0.7 is the IP address, right? Enter. You can see it's it's my EVNG console. Okay, this is a GUI console. It's asking some user credential, right? So the username is the, you have a two type of console for EVNG. So when you are going to draw your topology, work with other devices, so in that case you have to use HTTP console. I mean GUI console. Okay, and for GUI credential is username is admin, all are small letters, password is Eve. Okay, all are small letters. This is for GUI credential. So when you want to, this is for your lab creating topology and working with that devices. But if you want to do hands-on with the Palo Alto, first of all, you need to upload the image file of your Palo Alto. So uploading the image files and managing the storage, everything you can able to do it in your CLI only. For CLI credentials, CLI, if you want to access the CLI of EVNG, you need to have you need to provide the credential. The credential username for CLI is username is root, password is E. Both credential are different, guys. For CLI GUI credential, username is admin and password is Eve. CLI credential, username is root and password is Eve. Okay, username. So CLI credential, CLI console we'll use mostly when you're going to upload the image files and managing the storage, right? Or assigning the IP address to the interface for any other network adapters. Okay, username. This is password. Okay, so now we are going to access the GUI console. So I want to show you how your workspace will look like, right? So what is the credential here you have to provide? Username is the root or admin, guys. Username is the admin because we are accessing GUI console. Username is admin, password is E, okay, and console type. There are two type of consoles. I'll let you know. While uploading the image files, only we can able to see the difference between the native console and HTML5 console. As of now, just make it native console. I'll tell you. I'll give you the difference tomorrow. What is the difference between the native console and HTML5 console? Okay, so sign in. You can see this is your workspace, guys. Okay, here only you are going to start to create your labs, and you are going to draw topologies, everything. Okay, and just give your create your lab here, or you can make a folder, and inside that folder you can create your projects. Okay, so here Palo Alto. Okay, inside that Palo Alto folder, whatever I'm going to do my hands on, right? In that whatever the lab I'm going to do, so that labs I'm going to maintain under this folder. So let's say this is a test folder, test, sorry, add new lab. This is a test lab. I'm going to testing purpose, I'm going to do this lab. Just save it. This is your workspace, actual workspace. Here only you are going to draw your topologies, guys. So you are going to draw, you're going to add other devices, routers, switches, right? And you are going to give the connectivity, and you are going to access the console of the router switches, either CLI or, right, I mean either telnet or SSH for router. Okay, and then firewall either as GUI console access or CLI console access. CLI either HTTP or sorry, either telnet or SSH, right? SSH console. For GUI you're going to use HTTP. Yes, access for Palo Alto. Okay. You can able to access the management console for GUI through web browser only, not any other application. Okay. So you're going to access it. Everything you're going to do here only, guys. You're going to draw topologies and you're going to work. And you're also going to access the real internet connectivity from the Palo Alto, I mean from your EVNG device. So it's okay. So I'll show you the topology, everything tomorrow. Okay. And I will show you how to upload the image files. As of now, we just installed the EVNG operating system and we are not yet completed our full process. And since it's a pre-installed operating system, it's once it got the IP address, you can able to access the console, GUI console. But if you want to complete full setup, just close this lab. Okay. And now go to your CLI console. Okay. And to complete your, if you want to assign the IP address manually, it's by default it is configured as a DSCP client, and I just want to complete my lab setup properly, and I just want to assign the static IP address on that. So in that case, first you need to log in with the CLI console. And what is the credential, guys? 5 minutes, guys, I'll complete it. Okay. What is the CLI console credential? Username is the root and password is E. Okay. And now you can see it's asking setup. And if you want to change the password credentials, user credentials, okay, passwords, you can able to change it here. So I just want to change it as it is. I want to give, and you cannot see what you are typing here. Okay, and just click OK, and it will ask you to retype your password. If the password is matched, the password will be saved successfully. If you are having any, if the password is not matched, then it will give you some error, then it will ask you to reconfigure your passwords. Okay, and then if you want to give the, as of now the host name is evng, and if you want to change the host name of this virtual machine, you can just change it. Okay, so I just want to make it as a pa Palo Alto Eve. Okay, this is a host name. And click OK. And if you have any DNS server domain in your domain name, if you're in your production network, if you want to use that, you can use it. If you have a domain controller and everything, you can able to add this machine into the your domain. Then you can just add that. You can mention the domain name here. Okay, so we don't have a for we are using it for our hands-on only in for personal use, so we don't have any domain name servers and all. Okay, so just leave it as it is. You no need to configure this one. And then this is the IP assignment mode. As of now, you can see that the IP assignment mode is static. If you want to change that mode, I don't want to use a DHCP, because DHCP always based on the availability IP only I can able to get, so that there is a chance my management IP always frequently it will be changed. So I want to give it as a static IP address. Then what you have to do, you can see right now my cursor is in here, right? If you click OK, it will since previously it's taken as a DHCP, you can see DHCP is selected. So it will be it will again it will select only DHCP only, but I want to configure the static IP address. So what you have to do now from your DHCP to just click your down arrow button, and you can see that now static is highlighted. Now DHCP is highlighted. Now its static is highlighted. So up and down arrow you have to use to select, but this is not, we are not selected right now, it is in a static, right? And if you click enter, it's not selecting your DHCP, it's highlighted only static. I mean, it's not selecting static, it's just highlighted static. But you can see that cursor one star is selected on DHCP, so it is chosen with the DHCP only. And if you click OK, I mean, if you're just highlighted your static by your cursor and you click OK, previously DHCP is selected and it will act like it. I mean, it's your machine will consider you have already selected DHCP, then it will go with the DHCP assignment only. Okay, and if you want to assign the static IP address, that cursor, that star should be selected on your static. So then only the static mode is selected. Okay, to select that, so you have to choose, first you have to choose up and down arrow and highlight your static. Your cursor should be highlighted with static, and hit space bar to select that static method. Now you can see I'm not hit enter. I just enable I've just hit my space bar to select that static. Okay. And if I want to select DHCP, then so go up, click up arrow and hit space bar, and you can see that my star is selected there. Which means if star is there, then that particular mode is selected, DHCP mode. Now I just want to select with a static mode and click OK. Now you can see it is asking you to provide the IP address for your EVNG management interface. Okay, and what is the IP address? So I know what is my LAN network. So this is my LAN network, and I can able to communicate with the internet. So I need to provide my IP address from this range. And what is my LAN gateway also I know 192.168.0.1. Okay, so here I'm going to give the IP address from this range 192.168.0.0/24 network, and my gateway is 0.1. Okay, so I'm going to give the IP address from this range. So I just want to assign static IP address to this PC, sorry, this machine, that is 192.168.0.100. 0.0/24 is my network management network, and one of the IP 192.168.0.100 is that range. Okay, and that IP I have added here 192.168.0.100 and click OK. And now it is asking you to provide the subnet mask of that particular network, that is /24 network, right? So you have to provide 255.255.255.0 and click OK, hit enter, and now it is asking the gateway for that network. So we know LAN network gateway is 192.168.0.1. So that gateway you have to provide here, 192.168.0.1. Okay, and click OK. And then, so if you want to, your EVNG also going to access the internet. So some for internet access, if you want to get a DNS resolver and all, you need to provide the DNS IP address, right? So what is the IP address? So primary DNS server. In case in your network, if you have any DNS server, you can provide that DNS server IP as your primary DNS server. We don't have any DNS server, and we are going to access the internet, right? So I'm going to provide my DNS global DNS server as my DNS server IP. Okay, and click OK. Secondary, if you want to provide a secondary DNS server IP, you can just give it. And as for us, it's not necessary. It's enough. Primary DNS is enough. If you, I don't want to configure secondary, so just click OK to skip that secondary IP configuration. And this is for network time protocol. In case in your network any NTP server, if you want to synchronize with that network time, based on your network time, you can just assign the IP address, or you can just mention your an NTP server IP. And if not, just leave it. We don't have any NTP server, just leave it as empty. And this is about the internet connectivity. This VM, how you want to connect the internet. Any proxy method you are going to do, or direct connection. So we are going to directly communicate with the real internet. Okay. So best make it as it is. Direct connection is enough. Okay. Don't change proxy. Then if you change the proxy, it will ask you to the IP of proxy server. We don't have any proxy server and all, just enough direct connection. Hit enter. That's it, guys. Okay, almost your EVNG setup is completed. Installation is completed. Not entire setup is completed. EVNG setup installation is completed. Your lab setup first part is completed. Now you can see the IP is changed, 190.168.0.100. Okay, and let me check whether my event can communicate with the internet or not. Okay, and I'm going to ping. Yes, I got the reply. So I'm able to get the internet connectivity on my EVNG or virtual machine. So up to now, up to EVNG virtual machine, we are getting the internet. Okay. Right, I'm getting a reply from, right now I'm in EVNG operating system, and I'm trying to access the Google DNS server. I'm getting a reply, so which means I have internet connectivity on this virtual machine. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to add other devices inside the EVNG virtual machine, and we are going to do some hands on it. We are going to test whether that machine is accessible or not. Okay, so first part of lab installation is completed. So installing the EVNG is completed. So we are just complete up to now. The image files, uploading the image files is the second part of your lab installation. That we will do it tomorrow session, guys. Okay. Any doubts up to in this session, up to this installation process? Okay. The necessary tools, softwares, I'll share with you guys. I'll share the link. You can download it. Any doubts? John Paul. If you have a proper license on that, you can able to pull the updates, internet connectivity. Yes, you can. Your management should be have a internet connectivity. That's it. In normally how you are going to do updates in your Palo Alto, all you need is your management network should access the internet connectivity. I'll show you. I'll give you how to pull the updates from dynamic update from Palo Alto server. So that we are going to see. That is also I'll show you. No issue. May I know who is in the name of John Paul? Others I can remain. What is your registered name, Jogi? Okay, fine. Please, guys, please come with your original name so that only I can able to understand. Okay. Yeah, I can understand, but the thing is, if it's showing that different name, I need to know who are all attending the session. Right. So please come with your registered name. Okay. For today's session, up to now it's fine, right? Everything is clear. Manigandan, Sachin, Syed, you already attended the session, this session, so I should, I'm sure. Perfect. Okay, fine. Okay, guys, then we'll see tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, I'll upload it once it is converted. I'll share it. Every day I'll upload the session. No worries. I'll share the link. I'll upload it. No worries. Okay, guys, that's it today for money. Do you have any doubts, money? And okay. Okay, everything is fine then. Okay, fine, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, guys. Take care. Bye bye.